Moving on now to the greatest overall teams of the last 10 years. Wow. Number one. You're number one.
The UConn women.
I had them number two. Yes.
5 titles, 7 Final Four appearances, 2 undefeated seasons last year, which I think I mentioned in the first part of the show. Last year they did not have a game within 10 points. Who does that?
Yeah.
My number 2 is, I think your number 1 would be the
Los Angeles Lakers. Yeah.
And you can.
Yeah, definitely. With the Lakers winning the first 3 championships of the decade and concluding with 1 championship in the 2008-2009 season. Also, too, what was great about the Lakers is that they had a down couple of years, and which they were able to come back. But it just showed, the greatness of Phil Jackson being able to bring them back to that prominence, and also to the moves that they made, the Paul Gasol trade, which was. We all know that was a robbery. We all know that. But,
his brother's become a nice player. But
yeah.
Come on now.
But and that's the thing. And people were blaming the Lakers, but hey, Memphis did the deal as well.
Yeah.
So
you don't blame them for taking the guy.
Because I bet you, if another team like the Houston Rockets came along or something and did, hey,
it's because of the Lakers,
right.
and they were smart enough to draft, a guy like Bynum.
Andrew Bynum, yes, indeed, and also the bench players the role players they will to acquire. Derek Fisher, before the decade started, but he was part of the big 3 championships as well. But also Sasha Vujacic, Jordan Farmar, all those players, definitely. And we had the New England Patriots at number 3,
yes,
also, and then the Yankees at number 4. Wow,
What do you got as number 5?
Number 5, San Antonio Spurs, and you had the Red Wings. But I'll elaborate on the Spurs.
That's fine.
They had 3 championships in the decade, victories over the New Jersey Nets, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and before that, the Detroit Pistons, and probably, I think, the best final of the decade, that final in 2004-2005 season over the Pistons that win 7 games. The Pistons being the defending champions. Just back and forth. But anyway, but the Spurs, 50 wins every season. Greg Popovich, one of the great executives as well, because he's the GM and coach as well. And I had the honor to meet him covering the Spurs and the Knicks last week, and just an exemplary guy from what I got from him. But I had the Spurs just, they could arguably be a better franchise than the Lakers. But of course, the Lakers won more titles, and also the Lakers, had more dominant seasons. So,
agreed.
But but talk about your number 5, Detroit Red Wings. Very interesting.
2 Stanley Cups, 3 conference championships, 8 division titles, and they've been in the running every year of the decade. They're continuously the best run organization in hockey. And Scotty Bowman leaves, Dave Lewis comes in, Dave Lewis leaves, Mike Babcock comes in. There's just been continuity with the franchise more than any other one in the NHL. And so that was my for honorable mention.
But I have to say, the reason why I don't have the Red Wings at all, the only reason, 3 first-round losses.
They did.
That was the thing, if you're a dominant team and great team, you got to find ways. Even though hockey is, you never know with hockey.
It's more. There are more upsets in the hockey playoffs than any place else. But they did have the continuity throughout the decade.